Hello, hello. On today's show, I'm going to talk about the Mandalorian Season 3. Mike is going to show us the undisputed champ of Cover Combat 2. And if action figures have a name, it must be Indiana Jones. Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast, comics and collectibles in the crawl space. As usual, I am your third or fourth favorite podcaster, Kevin. And also, as usual, I have two amazing gentlemen with me. You want to say hello, Mike?
Hey, there I am. Hello. What's up, everyone?
And of course, the undisputed, everyone's favorite action figure and toys shower on the planet, Patrick.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Pat.
That is undisputed.
Yeah.
Lots of great teasers in that one. I hope we can fulfill everyone's expectations.
Right.
All right, Mike, we're getting ready to set up Profits, right?
Yes, we are.
And this might upset a few folks, but I have news for our millions of viewers. Since most of our millions of views come after the live stream, we have decided to put the Profits on a moratorium. Wait, is that forever? Is moratorium forever?
Sounds like it.
In comic books, they always come back, so that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. We've decided to put the Profits in a moratorium because of not really any participation to speak of a few times, but not really enough to where it takes the time it does on the show. When that changes in the future, we have more viewers actually watching us live to where it could increase the participation in Profits. We may bring it back, but just to let everybody know, I'm really sorry, but this is our last Profits. All right. But you ready, Mike?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. And this is also, just like my Christmas tree in the background, the last time you will see the little Christmas girl guessing.
Right. A lot of lasts today.
Yeah.
But we do have a first.
Okay, awesome.
I'm at 2, Victor. Okay. There we are. The final
Nice.
Profits for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
Here are the 10 covers for books coming out this Wednesday, January 18th. The Xcellar Group and our families have selected our top 3 favorites. In order for you to win the Profits contest, you must choose the covers that make up our top 3. Put a comment during this live stream of the 3 covers you've selected. The cutoff time for your submission will be announced at the beginning of the Pick 3 segment. The winners will receive their choice of 1 book from these 10. We'll send it to you free, and we'll even cover the shipping. So if you want a closer look, head over to our Facebook page. They're all up there. You can look at them a little bit closer, get a better idea, and then come back here and comment.
Well, I will say this is one of the really good weeks, in my opinion. Man, it was tough for me this week. I wanted to pick like 6 of them.
Yeah, Marcus had 8.
What say you, Pat? Was this a good week? You had a tough time picking 3. Well, I can't wait to hear about that later. I'm gonna be shocked. Unless you point out some random things that I didn't notice, like what's that weird thing in the bottom left corner?
That's my job, right?
Yeah. All right, but until that time, we have the most exciting segment here. This is we are going to do 2 things with cover combat, right? We're gonna not only show the champ of cover combat 2, but we're also going to decide what the cover combat 3 will entail, right, Mike?
Correct. My
You're
video's
freezing.
on a super delay.
Yeah, it is.
So
That's
actually,
what I was wondering if I was saying something wrong for a minute, because you were like for like 10 seconds. I was like, what I do?
Yeah, we've got 3 things. We'll reveal the winner.
Okay.
We'll reveal everybody's individual submissions, and then we'll come up with what the parameters are for cover combat 3.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, so let's get into this. All right, awesome. So, I guess someone needs to have a back brace that's going to find out who's going to win the gargantuan vibranium edition of Captain America here.
Right.
That's also part of this. So this is pretty exciting. From what I could tell, we were discussing it a little bit before the show. It was pretty close. What was the percentage, Mike?
Yep. I'm trying, since I can't see on my computer, I'm trying to set it up on my phone so I can see the percentages. Okay. Number 1 received 41% of the vote.
Oh, geez.
Number 2 received 32% of the vote. And number 3 received 27% of the vote.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
All right. What we got?
All right. Here we go. I think this first one's just going to be a repeat of the other. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we're going to start it. Are you guys ready? Okay. Everyone ready?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No crying. There's no crying in cover combat.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Let's start here.
What? Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of a shock.
Third place, Star Wars number 1.
Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry about it, Pat.
Yep. So I was hoping that when you guys saw that, you wouldn't see the third place right away, and you would think that was the winner.
I
was hoping you were going to do the third, second, first.
I didn't know if you were doing it like America's Funniest Videos style or.
Oh. Yep. All right. Hold on to your horses. I'm kidding. This is our next matchup.
All right. That was good. All
right. And now for the winner with 41% of the vote, we have number 10.
Congratulations, Catwoman. Totally shocking, though.
Yeah.
I am shocked. I would have done the order completely opposite if I was guessing. I would have guessed Star Wars, then Hulk, then Catwoman.
Yep.
Shows that we know. Karen is happy.
Well, at one point, Hulk was winning. And there were was it? Yeah, 3 votes that came in at the last minute and changed it.
Oh, wow. And I do believe congratulations go out to, is it Rose, right?
Yes.
Congratulations to Rose for winning the 75th anniversary vibranium edition of Captain America. It is awesome. I can't wait till she has it. Hopefully, I'll be visiting Pennsylvania soon. I shouldn't assume, although we all know and love Rose, that she'll probably be forgiving to me to not ship that thing to her. So hopefully she can wait till the next time I get to Pennsylvania, which will probably be March. So Rose, let me know if 8 weeks is too long to wait. I will definitely do what you require because I don't want you to have to wait any longer than you want. If I have to ship it, I'll do it. Or I might just drive it up there. Driving it up there might be cheaper than shipping it. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. A tank of gas is probably cheaper.
Right.
The good thing about that is you could send it media mail. It just will take a while.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah. Yeah. Wonder how much media mail would be for something that big too, though. It'd still be, I'm sure, cheap, but yeah, that's
I don't think it'd be too bad.
Yeah.
I think it's I don't know. The weight limits on media mail, I think, are pretty
They
forgiving.
can go pretty heavy. Yeah.
Right.
And that one definitely doesn't have ads in it, so there's no controversy there. Because that's always the thing that me and Mike are talking about with whether comic books can be shipped via media mail because of the ads, I guess. Right. But that one definitely doesn't have ads.
So what I have next is, you guys have any idea who submitted Catwoman?
Well, I do.
Oh, I forgot. I sent Patrick everything yesterday.
I was going to say, well, it must be Patrick then, but it's not because it was Patrick. It was because he saw it.
Yeah, I sent him everything. He created little graphics.
Okay, let me guess then. I'm going to guess. All right, so obviously it wasn't Patrick. We know it wasn't you, Mike, because you were talking about how you were out so fast.
Yep.
I know it wasn't me. I guess I'll have to. I don't think it was Tyler. Tom didn't submit this time. No, these are between Mike and Johnny. I'm going to guess Mike.
All right.
Dadgum.
Mike.
Good job, Mike.
Yeah, good job, Mike.
Yeah, well done. I mean, yeah, look, his Black Widow was up there. He was holding on.
He went for the Catwoman odds. Yeah. And then he's got the Black Widow.
So as we go through these individual lists, they're kind of color coded there. And Mike's is a good example because he had an elimination every round except for the first round. He had no eliminations in the first round. So it goes red is eliminated in round 1, yellow in round 2, green in round 3, cyan in round 4, blue in round 5, and magenta in the final round.
Okay, that's cool. Okay.
So you can see a big chunk of Mike's got eliminated in round 3 there.
Yeah, it was a tough round.
Yeah. For him, but he came out on top. So
Yep. Yeah, I seriously thought that Hulk had it in the bag.
He went the route that Tyler says he's going to go next route. He's got a bunch of extremely attractive women.
What surprised me when I saw these groupings is that I figured the person that put the monstrous covers in was the same person. Not so.
No.
Yep. I thought it was funny when I was receiving everything that there were 2 monstrous covers.
Yeah.
You got to. I mean, it's not a super popular title, but we talk about it quite a bit, I think.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. I mean, they're beautiful books. Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right. The way I've presented these are in
nice.
The order that everybody finished. I mean,
okay.
We all pretty much have an idea on who submitted the Immortal Hulk. Kevin,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So basically, these are opposed towards Kevin.
Okay.
You have a guess on Hulk?
I was
Oh,
I was surprised that who did submit the Hulk cover. Honestly,
well, see, I did it again. I was totally thinking Patrick, since he said it was him. But okay. Mortal Hulk. I'm gonna say. Well, again, now that I know it's not you two, was it Tyler? No, not Tyler. So I'm gonna go Johnny. Tyler. Oh, good job, Ty. Nice.
And the thing with that one, I can't remember what cover he submitted, but it was already. I think it might have been one of the Carnage ones or something that someone submitted. So I said that one's no good, and he came back with this. This was his final submission, and it was alternative.
Yeah.
They did
Thank
really
goodness.
well. Yeah. When I saw it, the first thing it is like I've never seen this. I had to look it up. I'm like, what? I want this. I have to own this book.
I will say this about all those Venom covers, though. They are all extremely different.
Right.
and a couple of them are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me see. That one is.
I like 3 of them.
Really? Which 3?
The second one, the last one. Oh, I guess that's only 2.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say if I like 2 of these, it would probably be the last one and the Null one, but I knew that wouldn't be one of yours.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So in
That's
third place,
that's a good submission anyway. That's good. Good job,
Yeah.
Ty. Good job.
Yep. And the third place was Star Wars #1.
Which we know is Patrick's.
Yep. So
Yeah.
there's the rest of Patrick's.
Interesting. That is a great lot, Pat.
Yep.
Yeah, Art Adams, he was the winner last time, but couldn't make it out of the early rounds.
Right. But I was surprised the Batman Beyond Johnson cover made it as far as it did.
Yeah, actually, I was too. Yeah.
I loved it. I voted for it all the time, but it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah, and I was initially surprised at how well Star Wars was doing, because it's probably not my favorite of the lot, but once I started seeing how it was doing, that's why I picked it for my final winner.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think the Defenders one's the only one out of there. I really didn't care for that Daredevil much until we mentioned its cleverness, but
and I didn't want to say anything until it got through. It was like a giveaway if I said anything about that.
Yeah.
Then...
And I'm actually not a big fan of that Saga cover, but then I knew it was a classic kind of. It's the classic of the decade.
I understand that. Yeah.
And then, but yeah, I was curious about that Defenders. What made you pick that one? You just love that
I thought Mark Brooks did a really good job on that Defenders run. I mean, that's a book that probably nobody bought, but he did some really cool covers for it. And I, the innovative thinking on it, I thought was cool.
The whole
he did like an action figure cover. He did this video game fighting cover. And not only were they unique, but he's just a really good artist. So that's why I picked this one.
Yeah, and I think that one could also appeal to, we all play video games.
Yeah.
So that could have been one of those things that pushes it over for somebody. It's like, I really like the video game aspect to this.
Yeah, we all have a big history of fighting with video games, too. So even more. Yep.
The BPRD cover was disappointing because I think that's an absolutely beautiful cover, and it got
me too. As soon as that one lost, I was like, man, that is such. I was looking forward to vote for that many times. Yep.
Maybe if Hellboy was a little more featured on it, maybe it would have helped. But I understand because not many people know about that book either, so it wasn't going to get the popular vote.
Yeah, and it's the character driven too, as far as what people are voting for.
Yeah. You kind of want to go a little bit more mainstream with a few of yours, even if you don't really want to make sure you get those people. Yeah.
All right. Next up, now, Yeah, next up is I'm guessing on. Yeah, there's really nothing. We just talked about the one part, number 1, 2, and 3, but I'll just throw the last 3 up in order of their elimination. Yeah, I think Kevin had a book longer than Johnny.
Yeah, I just got eliminated just before the final 3. Yeah. My Star Wars Boba Fett cover. Yeah.
Yeah,
you can tell by the names too, because Kevin's outline of his name is blue, and that was the 5th round. So,
okay, I see. Yep, that's good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you Kevin was along with Mike. A lot of their covers were going through, and then they each had just that bad round. What's the teal or the that light blue?
Yeah, that's the 4th round. Yeah.
Yeah, that stunk.
Yeah,
I thought that Wonder Woman was a lock going forward, honestly.
Yeah, I was shocked. So, what can you do though?
Yep. All right, next.
I threw that Carnage in to intentionally throw people off, everyone thinking that would be Tyler.
Right. Well, on the opposite hand of that is I thought for sure Tyler was that Batman metal cover, which I gave such a hard time to.
Yeah.
That Carnage book is the one that forced Tyler to
pick Immortal Hulk,
and that's where he submitted Immortal Hulk.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, my
goodness.
Is
hilarious.
I think that's the one.
You're welcome, Tyler. But he was saying, I think he was on the show for the very first reveal, and he was saying how he was bitter at whoever submitted that Carnage because he wanted to submit. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's the second Monstrous cover. Yeah. And I'm surprised you went with 10 and not 1. 1 seems to be the go-to. It's kind of.
Yeah, I like 10. I just like 10 better because it was definitely a decision for me. I was deciding between 1 or 10. So then when 1 was submitted, I was totally thinking, whoever submit, if they win this with that, I'm going to be bitter. But yeah.
Well, I mean, that Wonder Woman, I removed it from my list.
Yeah.
Whenever you submitted it. And I think next time I won't.
Yeah, I don't think you should. Yeah, if you've got your list, you should treat yourself just like everyone else.
Yeah.
If you've got your list ready, someone else submits it, theirs goes, yours stays. Yeah, definitely. But man, I love that Boba Fett. I mean, obviously, I love all these covers.
Yeah. And that's all 60 covers are just awesome.
Yeah.
All right, and then the second one eliminated was Johnny.
Yeah, I guess that detective was Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Superman was actually one of yours, Mike.
It was, and that when he submitted it, I removed it from mine.
The Superman or the Action?
The Superman.
Okay.
With the.
I mean, Action was on my list.
Really?
Yeah,
you both had that.
Yeah, when that came out, and I think Johnny may have mentioned it, the Batmobile. When that came out, I was like, I mean, it's Gary Frank, and it just looks great. It's a great scene. And then I saw the Batmobile. I was like, oh, that's a cute little thing.
Yeah, and he covered bases both ways with Catwoman. He's got the classic and then the unusual.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I didn't like that Harley Quinn cover at all, though. The only one.
Yeah, I kind of take back what I said where all 60 were great. I wasn't a fan of the Suicide Squad. There was a lot going on there, and I like the Harley one. I think that one's good.
Gotcha. All right,
and
last but not least,
what I got 2 colors here, maybe.
Hard first round, Mike.
Heartbreaking. That Super Sons was my replacement for the Superman that I took out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still tried to get the Super Sons with Batman and Superman in there as well. But
man, a lot of heavy hitters for you that went down. It's head scratching. Art Adams.
Yeah.
Art Germ. What the heck? Your Art Germ cover didn't make it out of the first round.
Right.
And that's a great one for sure.
I forget what it was matched up with.
Yeah, I don't recall now.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Catwoman that won.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really surprised. Obviously, I was surprised because I'm thinking all 10 of these, or all 8 of these, unbeatable. They're just awesome.
Yeah. Well, I think that X-Men was just a hard sell. The all new X-Men was a hard sell because I think what does make that more interesting is being able to read it. It's like, and the other thing too is if you can't really read it, in the graphic, which I don't know if people could zoom in and actually read it. I didn't actually try, but it actually takes away from the appearance of the cover. So especially if you can't read it, in my opinion, it takes away from how good the cover looks by just having a bubble of words there. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I agree. Yep.
But yeah, I never saw that Old Man Logan before. That was an awesome cover. Yeah. So
yeah, and that's an A cover.
And I looked for a Wolverine in that decade that I really liked too, and I couldn't find one. So when I saw that the other X-Men with the Wolverine on, I thought that was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. With that one, I mean, I did a specific search. I wanted David Finch doing Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
So I looked for Finch Wolverine and
got it.
Yep. I was trying to go for the Prince. I mean, we all love Prince, and
Yeah.
Batgirl.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So.
That is an awesome cover too. I've never seen that one either.
Yep. But so it was a lot of fun.
Definitely.
And
looking forward to the next one. So what do we got for the next one?
I'm going to spin, but before we go there, I want to thank Patrick for doing this. This was such a great idea. I like the color coding.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Especially with the name, our colors on the name revealing the highest round. I think that's great.
Yeah, it's so great, man. Good job.
So unfortunately for you, you have to do it from now on because it's
yeah. You've officially committed yourself.
Yeah. I have a great idea. Let me do this. I have to do it all the time.
Right.
All right. So what I have is, pardon me?
That's what I was gonna say. So what is 3?
I've got the wheel, and we're gonna spin right now to see what our the parameters for our next one are gonna be.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna spin it, and then I'll kind of turn it around. I didn't set it up and once again I'm not overly prepared, but I'll hold it up here, and hopefully an ad doesn't pop up.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Oh, no sound effect. I forgot to turn it up.
Decade again.
Bump it a little bit. Bump it.
Bump it a little bit so it goes to the next one. Hey, the gods have spoken. It's decade.
Yeah. I mean, you still want to do decade again?
Well, obviously pick a different decade. I mean, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So what I've got here. Oh, talk amongst yourselves. I have an ad. I can do away with it if I pay for the app, but yeah, I'm not going to pay for the app. This is the free version of it.
That's probably one of those things that if you pay for no ads, it's like $2.99 a year or something, though.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now we're gonna spin what decade it is.
Yeah, and I've got those.
Did you remove the one we just did though? It's not on there.
It's on there.
Can't you remove it right now? No.
Yeah, I can edit that real quick. That was.
It was 2000 to 2000. 2000 to 2009, right?
No, 2010 to 2019.
Oh, 2019. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we'll delete, save, and now we're good.
If it's 2000 to 2009, Johnny's going to be so bitter.
I mean, what are we? We're all hoping for the 80s, right?
Yeah, that would be fun, I think.
Tom might be hoping for the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. And Tyler's
hoping. The 60s and 70s in the same thing, at least?
No, I have 1960 to 1969.
Oh, geez. Okay.
And then 70 to 79, 80 to 89, and so forth. Here we go. Let me turn this up. I like hearing the sound.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Whoa, that's even bigger this way. All right, here we go. Come on.
Oh my God. That is hilarious.
Let me bump it. It's not working. It's up there. All right, so there you have it. Cover Combat 3 will be decades 2000 to 2009.
Sorry about it, Johnny.
Yeah, hold on. Let me delete or hide that slice for next time. Okay. You want to know?
Well, I don't know how do you guys feel about that too? I keep calling out Johnny because he really expressed how he wanted the 80s so bad, which I'd be fine with. What are you guys hoping for the most too? The 80s as well, or 70s, or what?
80s.
Yeah, I can find covers in any decade, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, he's throwing it down now.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
All right.
Marcus wants to know who won. Marcus didn't even know who won Cover Combat. He was playing with his friend on Xbox.
Oh.
Catwoman. All right. He fainted.
He must have been thinking what? Immortal Hulk or Star Wars? Which one?
Hulk.
Okay. Oh yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah. Okay, so that's hilarious. I'm still. Oh, okay. So next week, we're on Cover Combat hiatus, so Mike can get one of his, in case you didn't know, segment in. Correct.
Correct.
So then we've got 2 weeks, and that's another conversation I think we should have. I honestly don't think we can have too many covers. So I know Tom kind of decided to take off last time, kind of because of the decade. I don't know. Who knows where he'll be since this is a little bit further back, but it's not far.
Yeah, I think it's still out of his wheelhouse because he hasn't collected for such a long time.
Yeah.
It's, he doesn't have an attachment to any of the stuff coming out in that era.
Yeah. Okay. But I guess we're doing it based on how it kind of comes down the brackets and gets smaller to the 3 rank.
Right.
So we're going to keep the same amount basically then, right?
Yeah, as long as you guys liked the 3 at the very end.
Yeah, I liked it. What'd you think, Pat?
Yeah, like I mentioned to Mike in a text message. The only thing would be to maybe we vote, give a ranking to our 1 through 3, and give me like. Our first book gets 3 points. Our second book gets 2, 1. That way they're actually ranked in the order we like the final 3.
Yeah,
on a point system.
Did you like that, Mike?
Instead of the problem, you leave that small chance that there's a tie at the end,
right?
Yeah.
Well, and what I did for the tiebreaker, I can reveal now what the tiebreaker was. I had someone that didn't vote in any of this stuff rank the 3 remaining covers 1, 2, and 3. So if there was a tie between what they put as their first one and they put as their third one, if in our thing they were tied, it came down to those rankings.
Yeah, I got
So
you. Which is basically, in essence, what Patrick is saying we'll do. Yeah.
But it was one person doing it, whereas now moving forward, is that what everybody that votes on it, or they can put them in the order they want?
Yeah.
Well, I like it. Yeah, Pat likes it. So if you're, I mean, I can't imagine anybody that would have an issue with it anyway. So yeah.
So that's the way we'll do it.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, but great job to both of you, not only for your graphics, Pat, but then for the way you did the reveal, Mike. That was awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't have anything to do with any of that. So
you said there can never be too many covers. I don't know. Mike might disagree with that.
Yeah, I do. I disagree.
That's true. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Here I am. And I'm just talking from the outside looking in. Yeah.
So while everybody submits covers, now I'll work on getting that organized. Patrick, you will have to do Cover Combat 3.
I have an idea already. So
and I'll just say it's your discretion, however you want to do it.
Okay.
I'm fine with it.
That's very cool. And speaking of talking about Patrick doing all that stuff too, he made a great video for my little kind of whatnot preview of the comics that I was going to offer on whatnot. So I really appreciate you doing that as well, Pat. I want to definitely do that every week. I don't know if it really made that much of a difference this week. I think my viewership was up overall. Still wasn't a great week, but I'm still putting it on myself because, again, I was late and, you know, I was fudging around with the camera. I mean, with how much stuff I want to show on the screen, I'm having a hard time figuring out exactly how I want it to look to where it looks cool, you know?
Yeah.
At least Karen was there to help me figure it out a little bit. So I did get it worked out, but and we talked about just leave it like this for the rest of the time now. And I'm like, but I have to take it down and put it back up because I have it in my living room. So once again, yeah, Karen keeps the other watchers occupied. Yeah. But once I get it in my shed and I can get it set up and leave it that way all the time, it's going to be better too. So I'm still extremely optimistic as to the direction. And I think one piece of the puzzle is definitely that preview video, and Pat did a great job on that. So
Hey, before we move on to subjects other than covers, I wanted to share this because they're so awesome. I'm using one as my background. These are incredible, or not incredible. These are Hulk 11 variants. The bottom one is an anatomy variant, and I think it's just open order. I didn't track down the artist, but I think it's awesome. It's so great.
it's pretty cool, yeah.
And I don't know if they're doing a lot. You know, sometimes Marvel does these themed variants. That's the only one that I found so far. I may have I just didn't see any other ones. And then the top one is the 1 in 25 variant by Daniel Warren Johnson, and I just love them because they're in landscape instead of portrait format.
Yeah, I can't stand the landscape comics. They drive me nuts. I don't like them at all.
Yeah, there's just no other way to present this artwork, though. I think if they
Yeah.
had turned it, it just wouldn't look right.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw these up there because I really wanted to use these for the pick 3, but since they were the other way, well, one's a 1 in 25, so I don't use those. But,
Gotcha.
The other one I could have, but just the format I couldn't.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
There is I did see something about a Marvel Anatomy book, so maybe I don't know, maybe they're pulling from that for that cover.
Oh, maybe
there's like a whole hardcover out there.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I think years ago there was a Wolverine. I can't remember who did it, but I think there was Wolverine that showed all the animanium and how his claws worked inside his forearm.
Yeah, I think I remember that cover. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, all right, that's all I had for covers.
All right, cool. Let's get into what I watched, which I'm pretty excited about this week. And teasing it in the title, I just wanted to let everybody know that I obviously didn't watch Mandalorian season 3, but we'll talk about it though. So here we go. Okay, so gonna go from worst to best, and you all can judge these by the covers as you usually do, I'm sure. But this is Deus, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, the Dark Sphere. A character in the movie actually says it in the movie, and I think that's how she said it. I hope she was right. Are either of you familiar with this movie?
No.
Of course not.
All right, this was out in 2022. This is actually a new movie. I watched this on Prime, and a few people in this that I was aware of The main star, I wasn't. Her name is Claudia Black. But David O'Hara is in this. He's from Braveheart, which I definitely recognize him from, and he's awesome in it. And then another girl named Crystal Yu, which has been in a bunch of other stuff, and Charlie McGecken, I think. I've seen him in some things too. So this is a pretty familiar cast, and I wouldn't exactly put this in a, like a, is there just A-list movies and B movies? I guess this is a B movie because it's not an A-list movie, but it's not like this trash movie. It was actually pretty well done. Basically what this is about is we're in this, I watched at this, it feels like sci-fi likes to rehash the same subject, as of late, with how, we're destroying the planet and we have to find a way to, solve that problem. And, I've always felt like this is kind of intentional to keep on the narrative of, what needs to be done to change that in the real world, of course. But that aside, there is this sphere, this dark sphere that has appeared, kind of orbiting Mars. So we need to send a crew out to investigate what this sphere is all about, and in the hopes that, I can't remember exactly if there was a relationship between the world ending and having to research the sphere, but regardless of that, the sphere is just this complete mystery. So they send this, group of astronauts out to investigate the sphere. And I didn't know this either. This was news to me, but do you guys know what Deus means?
No.
So I guess it's Latin or Hebrew for God. Okay. So when they get to this dark sphere, it's actually pointing to this specific point on Mars that I guess it highlights the word. Oh no, they see on this tower where the dark sphere is pointing to on Mars, and there's writings on the tower, and some of the writings, it says Deus. So then it becomes this whole religious thing, and they actually meet up with this alien life force that tells them that this is God, that God is here, and anybody who wants to save themselves from the world ending needs to walk through this gate and join God. Okay. And basically what this dark sphere does is then makes all these towers that match the tower that's on Mars appear on the entire planet Earth, like all over. Every country has these towers, and the leader of these astronauts, like I said, it's the lady. Her name is Carla. She's sent to tell everybody on the planet, hey, this is God telling us this is how he wants to save you. So walk through this gate and you'll be saved. So it gets very religious like that. I won't tell you what happens in the end, but I will tell you it has nothing to do with religion when it ends. And I thought this was pretty well done. It was a little formulaic once it got to the end, but nevertheless, I was still surprised by it. So I think this was pretty good for, like a B tier, sci-fi, and the special effects were good. The acting was good. Dialogue was good. I liked it. I'd give this a solid 7. Now, if this were like an A-list motion picture, I'd say it would probably be like a 6, but being what it is, I was pleasantly surprised. So I recommend people check this out if you're looking for some new sci-fi stuff. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, I like this poster. I also like just any space suits,
Yeah, me too.
with the helmet, the imagery. I love it. If it's artwork or if it's posters or any of that, it catches my eye. So I like this poster.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for it too myself as well. So, and then this movie, Above the Shadows,
Don't like this
kind of
poster.
came. What were you gonna say?
Said don't like this poster.
Well, it's got your boy there in the middle. You see who that guy in the middle is?
Jim Gaffigan.
No, that's
The other middle.
bottom. Can you tell who that is, Mike? No.
I can't tell. I mean, I recognize Jim Gaffigan. I can't.
That is none other than Alan Ritchson of Reacher fame. That's Reacher right
That's
there.
Reacher.
Yeah.
He looks so small. He looked bigger in Reacher.
He is a little bit smaller, but he's still pretty big guy. He's a big dude. And I do think he's a little smaller. But this came out in 2019. I watched this on Prime. And you can see this also has Megan Fox in it there. And then, as Patrick mentioned, it's got Jim Gaffigan. And this also has David Johansen. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. I actually have a fondness for David Johansen. You know who he is?
Yeah.
He's from Let It Ride. Let It Ride's one of my favorite old movies with Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss, yeah.
Yeah, that's the horse racing one, right?
Yeah, exactly. And David Johansen's his best friend in that movie. So anyway, he's in that. He's in this too. This girl, Olivia Thirlby, the main character on the top there, Holly, she's I guess she was the girl that was in Dredd, his partner, Judge Dredd's partner in Dredd. And she's come from a couple other things too. Nothing that I've watched. But anyway, this is another one of those where I had a lot of stuff I was doing. So after I finished Deus, the Dark Sphere, this popped up and it says, up next. And if you just leave it play, it'll put it up. And I just let it go and it grabbed me. So I completely watched the whole thing. Basically, this is like a sci-fi romance, which I'm not exactly sure I've seen a lot of sci-fi romances. I guess my wife, what's that? The Time Traveler? Yeah, that's like one of my wife really loves, kind of a sci-fi romance kind of movie. But anyway, this main girl, her name is Holly, and this is kind of odd how it kind of gets going, but as I said, it kind of grabbed me. It was a little compelling. So she starts telling this story about how she's basically kind of unseen in her life. No one pays attention to her. Her father, her sister, her brother, no one pays her any mind when she's a child except her mother. And then her mother gets cancer and dies. So literally after her mother gets cancer and dies, she literally disappears. Like she goes her entire life until she's 25 years old without another soul recognizing that she exists or remembering that she ever existed, including her father and her brother and sister. And I mean, she literally becomes invisible. Like she tries to, she's like talking to people and like, messing with them, and no one even knows she exists. So she's a ghost, literally, for 25 years. And she's kind of, it's interesting how they kind of show how she's lived her life all these years. She makes money just through the internet because people don't need to see her, but she's still solid and she can manipulate everything just like normal. So she gets on the internet and she's making money actually by, taking pictures. Like people can't see her take pictures of them. So she takes real candid shots and then she sells them to a news editor, which is David Johansen. He's the news editor she sells pictures to, and that's how she makes money. So in this world of her being a ghost, she can still cash in with that. And she come to find out, though, she actually ruins Reach. I'm just going to call him Reacher. She ruins Reacher's life because she takes a candid photo of Reacher cheating on Megan Fox and publishes it. So he basically loses his girlfriend. Megan Fox, like a big movie star. Her character is in this movie as well. And he's a big UFC fighter. And that's what else was interesting about this. It's kind of it's obviously sci-fi, which is interesting to me. The love story part of it, I'm not about watching those, but it's got a lot of UFC in this. So Reacher is a UFC champ. And when Megan Fox left him because Holly, outed him, he became so low that then he lost his UFC championship. So it just wrecked his life completely. So she's in a bar harassing people kind of in her way she does. They show us. And Reacher's a bouncer in there, and he can see her. So he kicks her out of the bar, and she's like, wait, what? You can see, so for some unknown reason, Reacher's the only one that can see her in the entire world. So I won't, again, that's kind of where I'll go, but I won't go I won't tell you how this kind of ends up, but it's pretty interesting. So then they kind of team up on this kind of mission. But as you can imagine, like I said, with this being a romance, other things start to happen, especially since he's the only man on the planet that can see her. She starts to like him a lot, and obviously he's easy on the eyes. So how all that ends. And like I said, without giving away any more on this, I will say that I was, like I said, pleasantly surprised with this as well. If you're in for a sci-fi love story kind of romance, like I said, Mike, this, I know you like Reacher, and, this might be a good watch for, you and M. Maybe even, I don't know what Chelsea's into, Pat, but, this might be a good watch for you guys, too, if you're in the mood for a kind of a crossover kind of sci-fi UFC love story kind of thing. It kind of fits all.
Where does Jim Gaffigan fit into all this?
He is Holly's father.
Okay.
It's a pretty minimal role. He's they show him a little bit in the beginning before she becomes invisible, and then he plays a pretty big part at the end. Like I said, which I won't give away, but yeah, besides for the very beginning and the end, he's like hardly in it. I'm actually surprised he's on this poster with how little he's in it. So
yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah, and he's not comedic either. There's no funny. There is some funny parts of this movie, kind of real, kind of lighthearted humor that it's definitely not a comedy. It's a romance. So anyway,
right.
I'll give this one a 7 as well. What were you saying, Mike?
David Johansen, he was the lead singer of the New York Dolls, and he was also in Scrooged.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yep.
So when you were saying David Johansen, how much you like him, and you mentioned what was the
Let It Ride?
Yeah, Let It Ride. That movie is nowhere on my radar as far as anything to do with David Johansen. So like, is this somebody different?
No, I loved him in that.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember him in Scrooge now too. Yeah, he was great in Scrooged. Yeah. So anyway, then I got into some little bit more quality movies. I watched The Pale Blue Eye.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna tap out for a minute.
I'm not gonna give you any spoilers. But that's what I figured. I figured you were gonna want to watch this.
Yeah.
I will just say, obviously this is, I shouldn't say obviously, but I will say that this is a good movie. Me and Jesse watched it. This, of course, has Christian Bale in it. There's a couple other big names in there. It has blah, blah, blah. Robert Duvall.
Yeah, I didn't know he was in it until I just saw this.
Yeah.
And I probably saw him in the trailer, but didn't recognize him, maybe.
Gillian Anderson of what's that? X-Files fame. And Toby Jones. He's been in the MCU lately. He is who's he playing the MCU, Pat?
I don't know.
The computer, Red Skull's computer buddy. Anyway.
Oh. Arnim Zola.
Yeah, Zoloff. Yeah, exactly. Zola. Yeah.
Oh, the little guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He always wears
He's in-
round glasses.
Yeah, right.
Right. But this is a I'm blanking, Mike.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe story, and it is a murder mystery. Spoiler alert, Mike, if you didn't know it was a murder mystery.
Yeah.
JK, I know you know.
Wow.
Anyway, man, I while we were watching this, I picked this not only because Netflix will put something. This is a Netflix show or movie, and Netflix puts something on, and man, they just I don't know if they do. It seems that way to just me or not. That just beat you to death with what they know you're gonna love, and maybe it's partially because my wife. 90% of what she watches is murder mystery type things, and documentaries. So this kind of fits that bill too. But it was great because we both want to watch together. Christian Bale's awesome, man. I was saying, I don't even know if I've seen a movie that has Christian Bale in it that I didn't like. Can you guys think of any that aren't
Newsies?
Dark Knight trilogy.
You didn't like the Dark Knight trilogy?
Who invited this guy?
But anyway, yeah, I love him so much. He's so great. And
I wasn't a fan of Newsies, but
oh yeah.
My wife loves Newsies.
I wasn't a fan of that either, but he was good for that part, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but this, like I said, I'm not going to say too much because I knew this would be right up your alley, at least, Mike. I don't know whether Pat, this might be for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely on our list, especially because of the filming locations.
Okay. So yeah, this is great. It delivers. So no disappointments to report on this one at all. It's great in every way that you'd expect a quality Edgar Allan Poe murder mystery to go. So give this a solid 8.5, 9.
Nice.
And so definitely check that out.
Yeah, when I think Patrick had mentioned something in the about the trailer to us about do you recognize anything here? And so I watched it, I'm like, man, I don't want to feel stupid. Hopefully I recognize something, because if he's saying, so whenever they show the mill at McConnell's Mills, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I do. I recognize it. And so yeah, the locations look awesome.
Yeah.
Especially the winter setting and everything.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That always helps.
Right.
And I'll just say this too, that it's tricky too. It gets you. You think you got things figured out, and which those are the best, of course.
My wife's really good at figuring stuff out.
I'd be interested to hear if when you're watching this, if she guesses. So
it's to the point now where she'll just write it down, because she would always say this, just say, oh, I think this is going to happen. And at first I'm like, oh, okay, we'll see. And after she's right so many times, I'm just like, okay, stop. Because assume that she's right. So now she writes it down and we look at it later.
And then she can prove it to you at the end.
Yeah.
I knew it.
She has a really good track record with it.
Gotcha.
So we'll do that with this.
All right. And then I watched, I guess this is the latest Disney animated Strange World. It is the latest, I do believe, right?
I think so.
So obviously there's a lot of, I guess controversy and a lot of hate directed towards this movie. Man, and this is how it always goes for me, because I intentionally try to walk this in this space with movies where I know what's coming out, but I try to avoid what too many people think, just because, especially if it's got anything in it that's remotely controversial, of course, this side's going to bash it for that. And then this side is going to bash all these guys or girls over here for bashing it for that. And it becomes this, it isn't even about the movie anymore. It drives me nuts.
Right.
So I was originally, I think I saw this as actually a trailer before something I watched in the theater. And man, this is a beautiful movie. I love the look of this. And of course it's sci-fi, so I was excited. This is how it went for me. I was totally excited about it when I saw it. I mean, not super excited. I mean, this isn't like the big thing for me, but when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. Then I heard all the hate, and I'm like, oh man. And then I heard the haters hating the haters, and I was like, oh man, and then I just decided not to see it.
Right.
And then of course, then it's free on Disney Plus, which is of course where I watched it. And so I'm like, okay, well, I might as well at least check it out here to see what's up. And so this is a very, 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 very kind of, modern PC culture movie. It is almost so heavy-handed in this movie, it's distracting. And, I don't even like using the word woke because that has such negative connotations one direction, and I don't even like using that, but just what you've heard about this, it is a legit, if you want to call it a complaint or a praising, depending on which side of the way you want to look at it there, it is definitely heavy in this movie in multiple ways. The story overall, it's actually kind of odd, which is kind of fitting. The name of the movie is Strange World. But this is part of the problem when I think they try to, do all these kind of heavy-handed modern PC culture kind of things in movies. I feel like it distracts them from just telling a good story. That's kind of part of the problem, which I think even the people that aren't haters of this kind of content, when they do not like the movie, then they get blamed of being whatever phobe you want to call them or ist you want to call them, because then they criticize the movie. But sometimes it's just because they don't make a good movie. And that is the case here, in my opinion. It's like so focused on being all those things that I felt like it lost sight of just making a good story. And this isn't horrible. It isn't a ridiculously bad movie or a horrible movie or anything like that, but it is not a good story in the sense, the biggest criticism I'll give this is it just doesn't make sense. Like, literally, we start the movie, we're in a just completely made up land that is surrounded by mountains, and people are trying to survive there, and they're poor, and they have a hard time getting by. And there's one explorer, the top guy there, the biggest, oldest looking guy there. Actually played by Dennis Quaid. If you didn't know that, which I didn't know until I watched it, and you can recognize his voice right away, So,
looking at the character, I would say it would be Kurt Russell would voice him, but
that's what I was thinking. Yeah. But no, it's Dennis Quaid. And then the young boy in the front there, that's Jabuki Young White. And then the one up from the young boy, that is actually his father. His name is Searcher. That's Jake Gyllenhaal. And then the mother, which I don't think you can see her in this poster, is Gabrielle Union. And then, of course, the father. Then Jake Gyllenhaal's father is played by Dennis Quaid. Lucy Liu is in this. Alan Tudyk is in this. I do believe he is the dog.
I was gonna say, does the dog talk, and who voices the dog? Okay.
He doesn't talk. But actually, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Alan Tudyk's definitely in it, but the name of the character is Duffel, and I can't remember the name if that's the dog's name or not. But anyway, like I said, this isn't bad. But I do feel like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when we get to the end, because it kind of focuses on this land that just is made up, that's kind of normal, but they're kind of poor and old school, and they find a new land because Dennis Quaid's character, the father there, is a adventurer, so he's trying to escape this land, but they can't find a way to get over these or through these mountains because it's too treacherous. But they do eventually do that, and they find this strange world. The strange world is actually just below. This isn't a spoiler like the end of the movie. This is something you find out fairly early in the movie. this strange world is just a world they find just below where they're living. And I won't say anything further as far as how the story goes after that, but I feel like this movie goes in a certain direction for 90% of it, and then it stops and becomes a completely different movie at the very end. It's kind of odd. I feel like maybe the writers felt like it would be like a, like a trick you kind of like we were just talking about with Pale Blue Eye, where it's like this something you had no idea kind of thing at the end, but it doesn't play out that way in my opinion. It just decides to completely shift gears and be a completely different movie for like the last 10% of it. It's kind of odd, but it's not the worst thing ever. I definitely, see what people's criticisms are of this movie in general, and I'd give this probably 5.5, maybe. Because it is beautiful too, and I like odd creatures and stuff, which there's a lot of that in this. Maybe a 6, but somewhere around there.
So the animation is good.
Yeah, the animation is really well done, I thought.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I definitely like that a lot. Yeah, and I like the way all the characters are, and the way everything looks. Yeah, and it like I said, there's so many little things. If you guys had watched this, I'd ask you your opinions on so many things. There's a lot of little annoying things that are just different through it, as well. So
Patrick saw it.
Oh, you did see it, Pat?
Mm-hmm.
Did it seem like it would just get into these slow, like, conversations that didn't really have to do with the movie moving forward at all? Kind of like
I can see that, but I think a lot of it was trying to do the family dynamic and bring in the father-son thing and figuring that out. I think that was a lot of the quiet moments that took away from the overall adventure part of the story.
Yeah. So I didn't care for that. What did you think of this movie in general then, since you saw it? Sorry.
I thought it was. I kind of agree with your rating. Maybe I give it a couple points or 1.5 points higher, just because I thought the animation was so well done. But yeah, I think I don't know. I hadn't heard any controversy. The thing that I think is hurting these movies is the quick turnaround to Disney Plus. In all honesty, I mean, and I hardly. I saw initial trailers for this, but I didn't see much promotion for it. I mean, I don't know if that's an indication of they think the movie wasn't going to perform well or what, but or if it's just the whole thing of turning everything so quickly around to Disney Plus. And I also think it was because of the sort of like the timing, and they threw it up for Christmas. I think that might have been part of the quick turnaround. But even their Pixar films, I think they're really hurting their brand by throwing them up on Disney Plus for so quickly, or straight to Disney Plus. I don't know.
So you think that maybe people aren't seeing them in theaters because they're just like, I'll wait until it gets on Disney Plus. Gotcha. Yep. Okay. I'm sure there's something to that. Got to be. Yeah. Although I've heard recently, watched a couple videos where they're planning on changing, like a lot of that had to do with COVID or whatever, and they're planning on changing that now or something like that. Is that kind of a thing?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think that was really the idea, but it gets to a point where there's no turning back because people are just going to wait it out.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they're going to get back to doing just that, put them in the movies and then having a larger time.
Yeah, 6 months, whatever. Yeah.
I think the movie theaters would probably prefer it.
Yeah.
But then you look at, ticket prices are through the roof. Even just for a family of 4 to go to the movies, you're looking at $100.
Yep, it's expensive.
It's. I'll wait.
Yep.
And yeah.
All right, and then the final thing I watched here, which I'm looking forward to this because I know we all watched it, is the new Quantum Leap. Right? We all watched the first episode of this, right? We talked about that.
Did we talk about that? I vaguely remember now that you bring it up. We did talk about that, and I didn't watch it. I think it was just Christmas the other day. I was busy.
Did you, Pat? No,
I didn't.
Well, in your guys' defense, I did just kind of throw that up that we all agreed, and I don't think, because of course I watched our show a couple times, and I don't think either time when I watched it, I actually did catch either one of you actually agreeing. I just made
non-committal.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I did mention it to Emily that after it was revealed to me that it kind of is a continuation, that we do need to check it out at the very least. So,
Well, I actually watched the first either 3 or maybe even 4 episodes of it. And I don't know whether I ever told you this before anyway, Mike, but I liked the old Quantum Leap, but I never watched a lot of them, really got into it anyway. I watched, probably a handful of episodes because they're kind of, real standalone, so you don't have to like keep up with it every week, and I like
there's some, it's called the trilogy. There are 3 episodes that really carry I mean, for me, when I think about the show, it's these 3 episodes, the final episode, and there's a couple more that I picked through that are really stand out, that I think elevate the whole thing. And then overall, you've got your standard-ish episodes that are just really good, but
yeah,
there are some that are phenomenal.
Okay.
So I'll write those down to you.
Yeah,
I have the Blu-rays. I'll bring them.
Okay. Well, I think you can actually watch all of the old Quantum Leap. All of them are on Peacock now, I do believe.
Yeah, there was one episode we bought it on, not to steal your thing here. We bought them on DVD because we loved them so much. And there's one episode where they dance, Al and his wife dance to Georgia. And in the DVD, they didn't pay for the rights to use that song, so they played something different. And Emily and I talked all the time about, we just loved that. It's such an emotional scene, and when that happened, we're both like, what? So that was, and then I started reading up on it, and that was a sticking point with a lot of fans. The Blu-ray has Georgia, the Georgia song on it, and I think hopefully the digital editions do as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this new one.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes, and I think it's fine. I think I like the old Quantum Leap still better. But like I said with this one, and Karen told me, I didn't know. She's told me, and I pass it on to you. So I did say something incorrect though. Make that because of what you just said, you will enjoy this. Okay. You'll enjoy this, Mike. I don't know what you meant. Sorry, Karen, I'm not tracking.
She might be talking about Al and Georgia and stuff. So
okay.
Either that or the trilogy. They probably reference some of those scenes, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm lost. Okay. Anyway, though, this show, I think I've said in the past, they're looking for Beckett.
Sam.
And yeah. Okay. So Karen says the trilogy. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Because of that, you'll like this, Mike, because of that trilogy. Okay. I guess that's what that means. Okay. So they're not looking for Sam in this. They're looking for the main character here. I'll pull that up real quick too. Because he basically, he wasn't even supposed to jump. His name's Ben, played by Raymond Lee. He wasn't supposed to be the jumper in this Quantum Leap, but he's part of the project, the Quantum Leap project, and they're trying to basically perfect it. So what happens to Sam doesn't happen. Like Sam's referenced a lot in this show.
Okay.
What happens to him doesn't happen, but they're still, obviously the technology is awesome. So they want to make it work the way they can utilize it. And they're working on it. So it doesn't happen what happened to Sam, but then Ben jump. He has somebody that I don't think we've seen who it is yet. Oh no, actually, what's the virtual reality guy's name again from the original Quantum Leap? Ziggy.
Oh, Ziggy, yeah.
So his daughter is in cahoots with Ben here, and we don't know why though. As far as, like I said, I've only seen the first 3 or 4 episodes. Okay, so Karen says they eventually tell you why, but they haven't told us why yet. But there's some reason Ben was like, he decided to be the one to go. So he does it like secretly. No one else knows it's happening. And then, of course, they all get mad at him because it isn't perfected yet. So now he basically becomes like, he's just like Sam.
Yeah,
He's jumping to all these random times and he has to, fix whatever's wrong in that time in the hopes to come home. So basically it's the same exact premise of the original Quantum Leap in that, in that way. And his wife actually is the illusion or the, virtual reality lady that, that comes to help him through his missions in the hopes that he'll always come home. And they're trying to find his fiance. Yeah, I guess they aren't married yet.
Stay tuned for Karen's review of Quantum Leap.
So this is fine. But if I were to give the original Quantum Leap, like an 8, which I probably would, I'd give this a 7. It's pretty good too. I'd imagine you'd probably agree with me. You might give it like a 9 and an 8 though, or something like that. So,
right? Yeah, I'm looking forward to this then.
Yeah, it's no reason to not like it, and it's all done well, and the act is funny, clever, and all that good stuff, and who he jumps into and all that stuff is good stuff. Yeah. So, all right, and then the last thing to bring up, which is part of our title, is The Mandalorian Season 3. And the biggest reason I wanted to bring this up, and I revisited the trailer again, and I was so mesmerized by how awesome the trailer was again. Do you guys remember the trailer that well?
Not well.
No.
So we know what's happening in this season, though, not only from the trailer, but just from how season 2 ended, though. You guys remember that, right? No? Okay. So
I would remember after you refresh my memory.
He's headed back to Mandalore because his Mandalorian title has been taken away from him because he showed his face and the armor found out. So it's him and well, I don't think we found out at the end of season 2 about how Grogu comes back to him yet, did we, Pat?
That was in Book of Boba Fett. Luke brought him.
He did actually get him back for good then?
Yeah, because Grogu basically took care of the Rancor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's what I was going to say. I didn't want to say a spoiler, but the trailer spoils it. At least what I was thinking, but I totally forgot what you just said in the trailer. Obviously, him and Grogu are together. They go to Mandalore for him to try to get his, Mandalorian armor back. Honor back. And Bo-Katan is a main part of that. I think she's on Mandalore, and then the Death Watch is the kind of the Mandalorian terrorist group. And the biggest reason I'm talking about all this right now is because I finally saw the release date of season 3. Did you all see that?
No.
March 1st. Which
Jeez,
is pretty sweet, right?
Yeah.
So we're less than 6 weeks away. I'm super excited. We're going to have to get back on track of keeping up with the show and reviewing it every week, at least when this comes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, good luck.
You don't want to see this, Mike?
I do, but you know me and staying on top of shows as they come out weekly.
I have faith in you. You can do it.
I'm really going to try.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right. And that's it for me. Like I said, I just wanted to bring that up because I saw what the release date was, so that excited me a little bit to bring it up in the show. So Mandalorian season 3 comes out March 1st on Disney Plus. So that's all I had this week. This is a mouthful. Sorry.
Is that all? That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Man, it's so funny. Every time if I start watching something either Sunday or Monday, then I have a ton. But if something comes up I don't get to watch until Wednesday, then that's when it ends up getting a short week. So But I got a bunch. You know what I was starting to think I'd need to do too is as soon as I watch something, text you guys. Hey, this is going to be on the show. Check it out if you get a chance.
Oh yeah.
That
You know
won't
what I'm
help.
I like it because sometimes if I'm just, I don't know if this happens to you guys, I'll end up spending an hour watching trailers or just scrolling through stuff. And I
do
end
that.
up, oh, that looks good. And I add it to my list.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying that looks good, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. I do that too. And
So.
then your witch. Jeez, oh man, I can't talk. And then your list has like 30 titles on it. And then you never watch any of them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, cool. So then I guess moving on, Mike.
Moving on.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, cool. Here we go. All right, awesome.
All right. So we have our pick 3. So the final profits segment is over. Sad song.
Sad. Oh, Karen, no special effects today at all. What the heck? Oh, what's that? That's a special effect we need to add. What is that special effect called that goes wah, wah, wah? What's that one?
I don't know. How do you spell that? All right. One last profits throw up there. And
Okay.
here we go. Okay.
You said profit.
Thank you,
You
Karen.
said profits throw up.
Throw up. I know it. I was gonna just act like I didn't say that, and hopefully no one.
No, we noticed.
Okay. So let me run down our 10 covers. We have Nightwing 100. That's the Bruno Redondo acetate cover.
Hey, Mike, do you want me to interrupt you now or
Mhm.
after you reveal the 3 so I can talk about Patrick and his love for these books or non-love?
Well, if it's, when you get to the particular book, if you want to say something about it.
Okay, Pat, you didn't like that Nightwing cover? Look at that. That's awesome.
Putting it up against all his recent covers, I think this was a miss.
Okay.
Even though I do like acetate covers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Continue, Mike.
Yep. I like this one because of the starkness, the blue and white. And
yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Tyler didn't like this one.
Yeah.
He doesn't like those negative space covers, I don't think.
Oh, right. Yeah.
All right, next up we have Venom number 15 by John Tyler Christopher. And this is the homage cover for Bagley's work. Amazing Spider-Man. I don't recall the number.
Right, Patrick? Awesome. No tongue, Venom, right? Awesome.
Yeah, I was never a fan of the original cover.
Oh, jeez.
But I think this is a slight improvement. But what really I cannot stand, they do these throwback covers, and I am immediately drawn to the wonkiness of that corner box. I mean, why is the Marvel Comics logo not in the center and at the top? And why is there a big thick line between the picture and the price box?
Okay.
And a skinny line around the rest of it. It just they do it all the time like that, and it drives me nuts.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I agree with Patrick. I'm not a big Mark Bagley fan. I know he had a long run. People love his Spider-Man. He's not one of my favorites. I was not a fan of this original cover, but I do agree that the way John Tyler Christopher did this one, presented this one, I like it a little bit more.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Batman One Bad Day, Bane, number 1.
Awesome.
Jim Lee. And also, when you look at the credits for the cover here, they credit Scott Williams as well. He's Jim Lee's inker, but so I don't know if Williams had done a little bit more than what Jim had done, or if they just always kind of put them both together. I don't know.
I love it. Pat?
Meh. At one time, I was such a big Jim Lee fan, but most of his DC stuff just leaves me cold.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I liked him so much, back in the day.
I'm going to go the opposite direction on that comment and say this right now, and you've heard it first here. Bane might literally be my favorite Bat villain now.
Ooh.
I love Bane so much. He's so awesome.
Yeah. I think he is awesome.
And I think this cover shows that. So anyway.
Do you think he might be your favorite over, say, the Joker because of how much the Joker? I think the Joker's overused.
Well, no, I've never been a Joker fan. I've always thought he's a weak villain that annoys me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Mike. I know you love him so much, so I don't know if I've ever said that to you before, but I've never been a Joker fan, really, ever.
All right. Let's get to the next one here. Lazarus Planet, Assault on Krypton #1 by Jen Bartel.
Beautiful, right, Pat?
Yes.
Yay!
You know what? What's funny is I put this up, and when Emily was making her picks, I told her, I said this one is putting this up there because I know Patrick is a big Jen Bartel fan, and I guarantee you he's going to vote for this cover.
Love it. That's a great cover. Yep,
that's really good. Next up, Alien 5, Mateus Bergara.
I am going to shock our millions of listeners and fans right now. I am not a fan of this cover. This one leaves me wanting, and when I have Alien, I want. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one. What say you, Pat?
Yeah, pass.
All right, we agree on 2 in a row. All right, we're knocking it out of the park now.
Man, I loved this one. Let me look at my notes here. Dang it, I voted for this one.
Again, well, let me like Pat likes to do too. I'm going to back that off of that a little bit because I'm not insulting your opinion, Mike. It's just, it's not bad. It's just, it's just not quite up to Alien level covers for my taste. That's all.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I have no problem with anybody criticizing anything I like.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Yeah,
I get a little emotional sometimes.
I mean, I was emotional with my 8 covers that didn't get nearly as many votes as I thought they should.
That got you a little bit.
Yeah. After that first round, I may have cried myself to sleep. All right. Next up is Strange #10. I'm gonna mess up his name. Ivan Colio. Anyway, this is another homage cover. I don't recall what issue of Doctor Strange this homage is, but
so I feel like I might like these covers more if I had any idea what was going on in the story, but I don't. So I didn't. That's why I didn't. I think this is a good cover. That's why it didn't particularly strike my fancy though because of that. I'm sure.
Yeah.
What say you, Pat?
Yeah. This is the current artist of the Fantastic Four. Like I said, I think he's pretty good. He's a good artist. I again, same as Kevin, not familiar with characters, but I did vote for this one because when you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, I agree.
Okay.
I didn't get the homage either. I don't know what this cover reference is. Just because I'm not such a big, not a big Doctor Strange fan. So
yeah,
right. All right. And next up is Iron Man 2, Assad Ribic. And this is also an homage cover
for
Iron Man.
Iron Man #1, right? Yeah. I love this. Patrick, what say you?
I kind of like it to a point. I think when you're doing an Iron Man book, you need a little more pizzazz, polish. It looks kind of bland as far as.
Don't you think that was an intentional because of what is homaging?
Nah,
I thought.
I think the original has more pizzazz.
Yeah.
Oh.
You need some turtle wax.
Yeah, really.
Okay.
But the artistic part of it, I mean, the structure, the drawing part of it's fine. I think the coloring, the rendering falls a little flat for what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks foggy.
Yeah.
I thought that was intentional, so that appealed to me even more with this cover. So.
Okay, next up is Hulk 11 by Ryan Otley.
Every time you say his name, I seem to not like what he's putting out there. But, you know, I do have a couple books that I like of his, the covers. But, yeah, this isn't one of them. Man, again, I don't know what's going on in Hulk right now, but I don't know what's up with Hulk's head here. But I couldn't get away from looking at Hulk's head in that picture.
Pat?
At least he doesn't have that stupid headgear on, is what I said. And that was enough to get a vote from me. I mean, the perspective I thought was cool. I too have no idea what's going on in this book. In fact, with all the trouble with Donny Cates and everything, and kind of abandoning the book to Ryan Otley to have to finish it off the run, I don't know if I'm going to ever go back and read this series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it ends, I think, issue 14, maybe. I think they're going to stop. And then obviously in a few months, they'll probably come out with another Hulk book. I just think they always need to have a Hulk book. But I agree that the perspective with his hand right there, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it is very, I think that part is very cool too. But yeah, just what, you know, I guess that kind of answers part of my question, Pat, with you mentioning the headgear, which I totally forgot about. That must be the remnants of what held his headgear on that's on top of his head. Still.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is what distracted me from enjoying. I like that perspective. And, you know, this made me think of Secret Wars. Was it Secret Wars 7, you know, where he's under the mountain or whatever, you know?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, that's why I didn't vote for this one.
All right. Next up is World's Finest number 11. And I couldn't get an artist on this. This is a Jack White cover. I don't think he did the art, but it's just referred to as a Jack White cover. And I love this cover because I'm a big Jack White fan and I like the blue and black. I did not vote for it. Surprisingly, it's like one I put up there just for me and I didn't even vote for it.
I know this got a couple votes and I'm shocked by both of them because, yeah, I don't like this at all.
Yeah,
Pat?
I thought I had, geez, I can't even get the words out. I felt like this may get no votes except for Mike because he put it up. I get it, but I'm not a fan of that fumetti, you know, look. I tried finding out some information on this too. I don't know. I think Jack White may have done this cover, and he's don't know.
Listed. You know, it's I
guess he's a big comic book fan, from what I can tell. And I imagine he's going to get a lot of Jack White fans are going to buy this variant cover.
Yep,
they seem excited over it.
Yeah, this is funny.
I'm actually kind of surprised DC let this go, just because they're the way they're playing around with their their big characters, and the logo and the.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even get the 3 eyes and find
3 eyes. Neither do I.
Okay.
And it's a variant, so I doubt that anything inside the book will.
Right.
We'll have to see if he has an album coming out that, maybe he's got a Batman, Superman record coming out.
And what's up with the 3 eyes and find it? Oh, that's what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the 3 eyes on the character there. What is that character on the left?
I don't know.
Anyway, and then the number where it has number 11 there, that's a weird spot for that. And it's,
Yeah, the layout's just, it's odd. I like it.
Yeah,
All right. And last up, Batgirl's number 14 by the legendary Art Germ. Art Germ dominated cover combat too.
This is a pretty amazing cover. What say you, Pat?
Didn't we have this last week?
I feel
Sorry,
like
Art Germ.
yeah, I feel like Patrick's Art Germ opinion just keeps falling and falling. And falling.
Yeah, he's done.
They all
Saturated
look so
market.
similar to me. I just
Yeah.
can't help it.
Mhm.
So my 5 would have been Batgirls, Iron Man, Lazarus, Bane, and Nightwing. Actually, I guess 6 because I like that Venom too. So that's what I'm saying. I had a hard time picking 3 because I
Mhm.
like 6 of them.
I had a difficult time picking 10. I did struggle.
Well, I think you did a really good job this
Yeah.
week. That's my
Thank you.
opinion.
All right.
All right.
So, all right. Let me hold on. I was going full screen so I could look at all of those. I keep that drum roll going.
Good job, Karen. Good job.
Keep it going. Let me get down here. Number 3 in third place. Batman, One Bad Day.
Nice.
And
Nice.
let me say, there was a let me see, there was a 4-way tie for third place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you had to use your scientific method?
Yes. And the 4-way tie was between Venom, Batman, One Bad Day, Lazarus. Oh, you know what? I'm giving away what's not number.
Oh,
1
yeah,
and
you should
2.
wait.
no.
Yeah. People just went like, oh, daggone.
Yeah. All right. Number 2. Drum roll, please. Very good. Awesome. There it is. Slowly. At number 2, we have Nightwing.
Nice.
Yeah. I was actually going to buy this book myself, but then I saw it's like an $8 book.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's issue 100, and I
Oh,
think
so
issue
double price.
100 might be a $7 or $8 book, and the acetate is like a
Oh,
$8
yeah.
or $9. I can't remember. It's $1 more. So,
Gotcha.
yep, there we go. That's number 2.
Okay.
And coming in at number 1, surprising no one.
No, don't even.
Yeah, you know it, Pat. It's coming. You know it. Batgirl.
Batgirl's number 1. Yeah.
Coming to you in the future in Cover Combat 9, the 2020 to
Yeah.
2029 decade.
Yeah.
I have
If
to
we-
say that I do like Art Germ.
Yeah.
But I tend to like more of his traditional hand-drawn sketchy stuff compared to
Yeah.
this over painterly computerized. I don't know.
I totally get what you're coming from, Pat. I'm not trying to be like it's.
I know.
I don't mean to come off like you're being ridiculous. It's just I get what you're saying. It just I still love it. You know.
And I'm just trying to say that I'm not a big hater of him. You know,
Right. Yeah, I know.
it's like too much.
Right.
I think he can produce more artwork doing the digital than he can the
Yeah.
traditional way. So he can just, pump out more covers.
Yeah.
So anyway, the ties, where I lost my thing there. Okay, so Venom, Batman, One Bad Day, Lazarus Planet, and Alien all tied. They all received the same amount of votes.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I was totally thinking the winner was going to be either Batgirls or Lazarus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised Lazarus didn't win that 4-way tie. Actually.
Yeah. Yep.
I was shut out this week.
Yeah, I think I got 2 of them there. Because I don't think ultimately Nightwing made my final pick.
No.
Yeah. Whew, all right, man. My cheeks are hurting. I'm laughing so much. Today. Yeah.
I mean, just imagine, cover combat. If we get to like the artists, there's one in there. I think that we all have to pick the same artist. So we put art germ on that wheel. If we all have to submit art germ.
I have no problem with that. Believe me.
That's what I was gonna say. It'd be interesting because we know Patrick likes art germ and like Alex Ross covered. He's just expressing this concern for this very typical same kind of look and feel to the books. So it'll be interesting. That would be an extremely interesting thing to see which 10 art germs Pat would pick.
That would put right. Yeah.
Because you'd think they wouldn't be the typical that the rest of us would. Yeah.
It would be interesting, but I hope it doesn't happen anytime soon.
Right. Every time when you posted that again, Mike, about all the different things we're going to do and cover combat eventually. Yeah, I literally, that's why I said, whatever you want to decide is fine with me, because I literally cannot wait for every single category to play out when we're all doing just a team, when we're all doing just DC books, when we're all doing, where's that one you said we can all pick our own artists, but they have to be different artists, our choice or whatever. That's going to be good. Yeah. I'm excited for all the ways it's going to happen. Yeah. I just cannot wait until we can, it's going to be so much more spicier every time with the more people we have voting on it every time,
Yeah. So. And this last time we had a lot of people voting, new voters.
Yeah. I noticed that too. Yeah. A lot of people I never heard of, which is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, let me wait. I forgot to throw this up. This was number 1 a few weeks ago. Nightwing 99.
Yeah. That's a beautiful Nightwing run. That's for sure. It almost makes me want to buy it. Yep. Are you reading these, Mike? Are you reading the Nightwings?
No, I'm not. And I wish I was. It's one of those deals where I'm like, man, I'm so far behind. Where do I start? And I should probably just, because who's writing it now? Is Tom Taylor writing that? I think. Let me throw this back up there. Yeah, Tom Taylor's writing it. Yeah. So basically, I think I should just go back to where he started his run and read those.
Yeah,
that's a good jumping on point.
Yeah, I honestly think with how beautiful the books are that if you were reviewing it and giving it a good review, it might actually suck me in to buy it, which I've never bought a Nightwing book ever, I don't think so.
Yeah, and Redondo's the interior artwork as well. He's the series artist, so you get that same awesomeness. I mean, there's one book I think it's unfortunately I think it's landscape, but it's like the pages, the whole page of Nightwing moving through this building. I mean, it's really cool. I'll dig it up. Yeah. And I'll pull them out, start reading them.
All right, so all those books come out this Wednesday.
Yes.
And now we get to a point where we review the books that already been out. Y'all ready for that?
I am ready.
All right, let's get to it. All right, looks like Mike is first this week. Totally unplanned and unset up.
Cool. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I read. Let's see. There we are. Little Monsters number 8 by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. This actually came out December 7th. And this is number 8. Number 9 came out January 11th. So I'm a little bit behind. And I look back and I actually reviewed issues 1 through 4 in August, issue number 6 in September. It looks like I skipped reviewing number 5, skipped reviewing number 7, and now I'm reviewing number 8. So this opens with more backstory. Each issue, we kind of get a little more backstory on the individual characters this time.
This is a great cover, by the way. I love this cover.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And I think this cover kind of goes back to Romy's time, the backstory for Romy. I'm thinking it is, because the way the character is presented in the backstory is different from the way they are now. So that's why I'm kind of guessing. Names don't line up, but that's the only conclusion I can come to myself. We also see Ray, who was one of the twins. He was captured by one of the humans that they went to slaughter, and he was captured by him, and he's now being led by that human back to the part of the city or the outskirts where the other vampires are, where they live, because he wants to kill them all. And then when we get back to where the rest of them are, we have Yui, Lucas, and Romy they have the human Laura, and they're trying to protect her from Billy, Vicky, and Lucas, who are trying to feed on her. And they're becoming more savage since they've fed on human blood instead of rats and rodents and stuff like that. They're becoming more savage. I think their thirst for human blood is growing as each issue goes on. And we're also given a few more hints on the elders and where they are, because they had left years and years ago, telling the younger vampires not to leave the area, never go into the city, and we're finding out a little bit more about where they are. Once again, the writing is fantastic. The artwork is just typical Dustin Nguyen, really great. This is the opening page, where we get kind of more of a traditional art style, whereas later on, I think he uses, I'm not sure if he's doing watercolors. I think he works mostly in watercolors. So that's part of the backstory segment as well. And one last piece. I mean, you can see the top there, just how savage the three of them are becoming, with their eyes blacked out and everything. So this is a must get. It's fantastic. I can't wait once I can start getting the trades, which they're already coming out, and read.
Does this have a cutoff? Sorry.
Yeah, I can't wait to get the trades so I can read all of them together.
Does this have a cutoff yet? Like when, how many issues it's going to be or anything?
No, they haven't announced anything. The last two, like Descender went 32 issues. Ascender went just under 20, I think. So I mean, these two work really well together, and I think so. This could very well go. I can see this going beyond 30 issues.
Yeah,
because we're issue number 8, and there's just so many unanswered things, and this has a lot of great potential for some longevity there.
Awesome.
So this is a must get. I'm loving it.
Awesome. I think we're gonna have a good get it
turnout
or forget it here. Yeah. Because spoiler alert, I got good things to say as well. I read Arkham City, The Order of the World, number 3 and number 4. I reviewed 1 and 2 last week. This is a 6-issue limited series written by Dan Waters with art by Danny and Dave Stewart. And quick refresher, it kind of is taking place in Gotham City, but Arkham Asylum, Joker killed everybody. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. A majority of everyone in Arkham Asylum, from inmates to all the staff. I think actually all the staff did die, but a bunch of inmates did escape. And that's kind of the Arkham City reference. They've kind of taken over the city. And again, refresher, this story follows a psychiatrist. Her name's Joy. And it kind of it's focused right now. I actually should say in this issue, it was started in issue 2 and now in issue 3, where she is primarily with the 10-eyed man, a villain that has eyes in each one of his fingers, and she is kind of playing this dangerous game of trying to help the 10-eyed man because she's trying to, help the clinically insane become sane. And also, while this detective is utilizing her familiarity with the insane inmates from Arkham Asylum to help track them down because they're all over the city now. And basically, the 10-eyed man. Sorry, that was a little loud. Basically, the 10-eyed man helps her kind of. We're following this mystery that her as a sane psychiatrist is kind of playing along with the 10-eyed man and what he says to try to, in essence, kind of not be mean to him, while he's trying to track down the ghost of Arkham, Dr. Arkham, the guy that created Arkham Asylum. And I told you the good guy in this is Azrael. He's trying to just track down all the villains as well to, of course, bring them to justice. And so we kind of got this part Azrael story going on, part the Joy helping 10-eyed man while also following the 10-eyed man as he goes around through the city, and he's kind of predicting all these things. He can see, like he's psychic. He's predicting all these things that go down in the city as all this crazy stuff is happening to help her find the bad guys so she can help them from the 10-eyed man's perspective. But then, like I said, she's also playing the game of helping the detectives find the bad guys while Azrael is also trying to find the bad guys. So it's pretty crazy. This issue, you guys can tell who that is on the cover.
I can't. I love that cover, but
yeah, it's a great cover.
Sort of Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, exactly. It's Solomon Grundy.
Okay.
So 10-eyed man leads Joy to Solomon Grundy, and the 10-eyed man, it's funny. He can actually, how we've gotten this many times in many stories where Obi-Wan or Anakin can understand what R2-D2's saying, or, Shaggy can understand. Well, I guess Scooby-Doo is not a very good example. He actually talks English. Yeah, but, anybody who just mutters, how they can understand what Groot's saying, when they're just saying nonsensical things. Well, the 10-eyed man's kind of like that with Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy's just saying his same old ridiculous rhymes, but it's meaning different things to 10-eyed man, and it's taking them on this search for something that Joy doesn't actually know what it is. But what she eventually finds out is, again, 10-eyed man she's starting to lose her mind because the 10-eyed man is always right about the craziness he says. Like, he'll say things that she thinks that's just insane, but she'll play along to, again, not be mocking him and trying to help him through his psychological journey. But then it ends up coming to fruition. So she's like, wait, she's starting to doubt her own sanity while also thinking that 10-eyed man is more sane. This is a very interesting story, how this plays out. I really, again, I said in 1 and 2 that I was enjoying it a lot. And it just continues with this. Dr. Phosphorus is in this one. And again, she finds them by things that the 10-eyed man says. And actually, at the end of issue 3, 10-eyed man is actually captured by Azrael. So he's no longer part of the equation. And now she has found the skull of Dr. Arkham, and She's actually seen the ghost of Dr. Arkham, which in her experience at Arkham Asylum, the biggest thing that was making everybody in the asylum insane, in her opinion, was that they all thought they could see Arkham's ghost. So she finally sees Arkham Ghost, and now she's questioning her sanity even more, while also questioning how insane every inmate she's chasing down is. So that's kind of where we are in this issue. We kind of Dr. Phosphorus and Noctura. This lady that thinks she's a vampire, she's a bat villain too. She's in this as well, and now it's kind of passed the baton from the 10-eyed man to Dr. Phosphorus, and this whole questioning whether Joy is actually the one that's been insane the entire time, and she's starting to believe the inmates. But we're still kind of in the same story as far as, this detective is still trying to find and round up all of the villains all over all over Gotham City. Again, the Arkham City reference. So I agree with what Mike said about his book, that if you're a Batman, Bat villain, Arkham Asylum fan of any type, and even not even that, if you're just a fan of a good mystery, it's so compelling but mysterious. This is a great book. This is a must-have, in my opinion, for everyone as well. So, and the art's great. The covers are awesome and the interiors are great. And again, I mentioned this before, it's set in the same style of the old Arkham Asylum book, which I love dearly as well. So,
did you say in your previous review where Batman is? Do they cover that?
It doesn't say at all. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I take that back a little bit. I think it just says they don't know where Batman is.
Oh, okay.
I think that's it does reference him briefly in the first issue, like Batman's MIA for some reason. So, but that's literally what it says. They don't know what it is, what the reason is either. So we don't know.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
I'm looking forward to reading this as well. I love the artwork, and from what you're saying, it sounds really good.
Yeah, I think you'd like it a lot. Yeah, definitely.
It does look interesting. I like Azrael as a character, but he seems like one of those ones where they seem to get him to a point and then they don't know where to go with him a lot of times.
Yeah, it does seem that way with him. Yeah,
his personality goes haywire, and yeah, but I think visually he's a cool looking character.
Yeah, he's very cool. I do agree completely. Yeah. All right, what you got, Pat?
See if I can keep the streak alive, but I'm tending to think that may not be the case.
Oh, okay.
Playing some catch up. If you remember before, I reviewed Red Man #1.
Yeah.
And basically, like I if you remember, there was no dialogue. It was entirely told in pictures. Quick read. And that continues here. In fact, I probably could have pulled these out when we started the review segment and had them ready to go right now, because there's not much here. Excuse me.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I think I might have a hard time getting through this in my horizon, but we'll see.
We put you back to back again.
What's that?
We put you back to back again.
Yeah, I almost said something, but it's okay. We'll get through. If you're a big Kaiju fan, big Ultraman fan, if you're in one of those, small number of Redman fans out there, you'd probably like this. But it's such a quick read, and they're interesting. And one of the things I kind of have a little bit of grief with here is, they kind of set this up. They kind of gave this a unique twist. Like, Redman knew he was being part of a TV show and being filmed and forced to fight these creatures, maybe against his will. And this is at least the end of the initial 5 issues, and you still don't know the reasons behind that, which I think they should have given you a little bit more, to keep you going. I remember when this series first came out, I tried to do a little bit of research on it, and I believe I'm correct in saying it was originally published. We're kind of going backwards here. It was originally published as like an original graphic novel, maybe in Japan, and now it's being serialized here in the U.S. in these individual issues.
Huh, that's actually what I was going to say. Is it sounds like from what you're saying, this would have been better in a graphic novel. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you would have been better off and more satisfied, especially if you're paying full price. I mean, that is another one thing I commented before was how can this small company, Behemoth, put out a book for $3.99 with this extremely nice cardstock cover, when and still charge the same price as a Marvel book, when the cover quality is about the same as the interior, and that was the case, strangely, up until issue 5. Every one of these had like a nice cardstock cover, and number 5 was the flimsiest cover I've ever seen. And it's like, why do you companies do this?
Maybe they were rolling the dice, and that answers your question. They how could they do it? And then they were like, we can't do this anymore. Yeah.
There's only one more issue, guys. Sorry.
Bite the bullet,
Right.
It was funny too, because even I can't really see it here, but they all had sort of the same cover setup. They were saying Red Man, the title, and Behemoth, the company. I don't know if Behemoth is like a sub imprint of something, but on the 5th issue, I don't think it even says Behemoth. I think it's totally it's like the same kind of logo, but it's a different name. I don't know either way, but getting bottom line, I'd say unless you're a huge kaiju fan, it's a forget it. Maybe look for the collected edition. I think it would be more satisfying because it's such a quick read, especially if you get it, as a bargain price for the trade paperback. But if you're going out and plunking down your hard-earned cash month after month, I think you'd find yourself a little disappointed. Matt Frank is the writer and the artist on this, and he does a good job. The storytelling is always very clear and always very well done. It's just when you're dealing with giant monsters and a giant Ultraman-like being, it's kind of limiting,
There's only so much dialogue that you can put in there.
Right. It's funny too, because number 2, it's one of those time paradox issues like I just talked about with the Fantastic Four, where I'm not so sure you want to see that in a comic book, where you're seeing the same scene repeated over and over again. It's like, especially in a book like this where you're kind of left wanting as it is. Okay, speaking of left wanting, we'll go back to Mike's favorite book here.
Oh, geez.
I've been wondering how this has been going, but I haven't been willing to buy it to see for myself. So thank you.
Not horrible. Let's just say that. There, I have nitpicks, but I kind of got backed up, and I read all these in one shot. Not as quickly as the Red Man. These took a little bit longer, but little more substance. Even though some people complain, I think, about Rainbow Roelle. She's a little lacking in substance sometimes, but these are pretty good. 2 different artists. The first 2 issues are by Luca Maresca, and the last 2 issues are by Takeshi Miyazawa. He has sort of like an anime manga influence, and it's a little more loose and cartoony than 6 and 7, but it's not bad. 6 was kind of interesting because the whole premise behind She-Hulk going back to work in a law firm was that if she worked at this law firm, it was no superhero clientele, and they keep coming to her, and she keeps turning them down, or saying, see me on the side, we'll work things out, but I can't take you up on your job offer. But here, Krakoa and Nightcrawler is too lucrative to pass up. There's big money with Krakoa and to be had, and there's lots of legal dilemmas to be solved. And Jen, She-Hulk, takes on the X-Men, or the Krakoans, as a client, and she breaks it to her boss, and her boss is like, cha-ching. She's like willing to forget the fact that she said no superhero clientele because she sees a big paycheck in the future. 7 kind of finally deals with, the will they or won't they between She-Hulk and Jack of Hearts. Spoiler alert, they will. That's kind of what this issue is about, and kind of them finally coming together as a couple. And then we finally, with 8 and 9, we finally have the mystery revealed as to who captured Jack of Hearts, who kind of stole his powers away. In a kind of a unique twist, it was a couple of characters that showed up early on in the series. That you were like, what, what's the deal with these people? Well, it was foreshadowing because they ended up showing up. The only bad thing about these 2 issues, I think, is it kind of plays it too close. And I don't know whether this was planned. It's a little too close to the ending of the She-Hulk Disney Plus show, whereas someone was out to steal She-Hulk's blood to gain her powers. They kind of use a little bit of that in here, and they also finally get around to breaking the fourth wall, just like She-Hulk did, in the TV show. They hadn't had much of that in the comic book here in this series, and they finally got to that, and did a little bit of that in either 8 or 9. I think 8 was a total. I don't think She-Hulk appeared at all in number 8. It was an origin story of these 2 villains, or misunderstood, or scientists that stealing the blood. It was all about them entirely. She-Hulk didn't even appear. And then number 9 was sort of them, the reveal, and sort of, their hand-wringing, gloating over She-Hulk stealing her powers. But things don't go too well for the villains in this issue. Just like the TV show, the blood didn't really have the effects that they wanted to. But basically, yeah, it's still a get it for me. Definitely not a must have, but it's sort of just an enjoyable light read to me. Not as light as Red Man, but light. And I'm not at the point where I'm about to drop the book. As Mike commented with the pick 3, and I kind of actually credit Mike to putting Jen Bartel on my radar. She continues with just really nice covers on the She-Hulk series. And yeah, that's it. I guess I forget it, unfortunately, for Red Man, unless you're a big kaiju fan. And I'm still at a get it for She-Hulk. Your mileage may vary.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
It's still good for me.
Yeah, that Red Man, I pre-ordered. Oh, thank you, Ken. I had pre-ordered 1 through 4. Then when it came time to order 5, I'm such an idiot, knowing that it was a 5-issue series, but I was trying to, and that fell victim to my cuts, and I never ordered number 5. So it sounds like I did all right.
Yeah.
And every week, every time I'd see the new She-Hulk, I was like, how is this thing going? Because, I bailed pretty early on it. So I'm glad that you reviewed those. Thank you.
I feel like you probably still wouldn't be on board given what you did and didn't like about the early issues, but it's not terrible. I don't know if that's a glowing review, but it's, there's worse out there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's a lot of the times the positive takeaway, that it's not terrible. Yeah. That's like a lot of the movies I do. Yeah.
How is it? Well, it's not that bad. Okay, I'll get it.
Yeah. It's not really pushing people to buy it, but yeah.
Right. If you end up going to look for Red Man to fill out your series in the bargain bin, you're gonna have a hard time getting a good cover, because that's right. a light breeze is gonna spine tick that baby.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that, because Behemoth, their books were just high quality. That their covers were kind of like the same cover material that the prestige formats were back in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah.
But seriously, though, you think that could be part of it where they were rolling the dice? They're like,
Yeah.
thinking, we'll do it like this, and that'll make them sell, and then it didn't work out or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe. And they're like, we got to go back. Stop the presses.
Yeah. Marvel was correct.
Yeah, right. All right. So, yeah, Pat, I'm super excited, too, because seemed like there's a lot of pictures for your horizon here. So hopefully, yeah, like you said, you can make it through this. But yeah, sorry to do it to you, but are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, cool. Here we go. Nice. Oh, and Pat, we didn't even comment about how awesome your new, user pick there is. That's an awesome.
Changed
That's
it
an
up a
awesome
little
thing.
bit. Yeah. Unfortunately, no thing in the horizon this week.
Okay.
We have some more McFarlane. It seems like once he trickles out a little bit of information, he a lot more seems to follow. We have a new wave. Yeah, with new wave of page punchers. These are the 6-inch or close to 7-inch page punchers. This is an all Aquaman wave. I wasn't able to easily track down individual shots, so I'm not sure if these are up for pre-order yet or they just were revealing them. But it looks like a Sea King, a Black Manta, an Aquaman, and an Aqua Lad, I think.
Yeah, that looks awesome. Yeah, they look good, great.
Yeah, that's all I had on those. But
Okay.
their big things that went up for pre-order were another wave of multiverse figures. There you see the whole wave, and then we have them individually here. So we got Superboy, we've got the Signal.
That's cool.
I think he has a cool design. I don't know about that. The headgear looks off to me for some reason. I don't know.
He does look a little bit different than the comics. Yeah, something different about it, maybe.
He's one of those new characters that I think kind of looks pretty cool, but I have no idea what he's all about.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I got a couple of the books too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, when you bring stuff up like this, yeah, I have that mini series of his, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I've got to dig that out and read it now. But,
I just bought it because it was Batman and it looked cool. So yeah, or Bat Family, I guess I should say. Yeah.
Right. Then we have Kingdom Come Batman, based on the Alex Ross series.
I'm not a fan of that one.
Yeah, that doesn't look that cool. That body armor, yeah, that's weird.
Even the Alex Ross artwork there, I'm just not a fan of that design.
The artwork looks way cooler than the, but I guess it does look the same, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
All Batman can't be cool.
But you got to have a Batman.
Yeah.
Every wave, at least one. Then we have a Jay Garrick Flash. I'm a fan of this character. Not 100% on that face sculpt. I don't know. It looks a little weird.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool.
Oh, did I say we needed one Batman a wave? I'm sorry. Well, you should like this one, Kevin, right? This is right
that one looks really cool. Yeah.
And I actually think this is I think this is actually really well done. I like him here better than I do on those covers.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Gladiator Batman. I like that.
Yeah.
I think McFarlane, he's always good at these weird, offshoot characters, variations on the characters, just because he can sort of play, even though this is based on a actual comic book character. I think their sculptors really get into all the little details on these figures like this. And you think it looks really good.
Yeah.
And then this is an exclusive, and if you order this wave on McFarlane's web store, you get this figure free. And I kind of can understand why. I'm not a big fan. Blue Lantern Kyle Rayner. And that face on Kyle there, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. Yeah. It's like his nose isn't protruding enough or something. It's like really flat. It's like he's noseless. Yeah.
I don't like the lips either.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this character either. Do you guys know anything about him either?
Well, it's Kyle Rayner, the old Green Lantern, but I'm not familiar with his Blue Lantern version.
What's the blue deal in the Lantern universe again? What's blue?
I don't know. Page Mike from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed. I never read all the different lanterns, even though I know it was super popular. I don't really know anything about it.
Hey, I just want to say this real quick too. Your thing pick is so cool as you talk, and it does the little vibrate thing. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that's kind of a cool representation there.
Yeah,
waiting for the mouth to be animated a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. The last multiverse figure. And this is a Target exclusive. This, I don't know. This was just like a one-off, I guess. It's Dead Man for Target. Again, he's a character I like, but I don't know. I don't know.
You got a different angle on him?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
That looked like his hair. I know that's just like one of these effects behind him or whatever.
Yeah.
It looks like his hair, like he's like he's like got like a big mohawk or something. I don't know.
It looks cool around his arms, but the back, it's just like, okay, this looks awesome. Then
yeah. But maybe it doesn't look that way from a different angle though. But yeah, that doesn't really look like Dead Man too much.
Yeah.
His face looks more like just like a regular old vampire, more like Nosferatu or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was it for McFarlane. Moving on to the big tease, they did a live stream from Hasbro this week. And it was all Indiana Jones all the time. They're gearing up for the new movie coming out, The Dial of Destiny. If you're familiar with what's that?
I was saying, I was just praying for a second for the Dial of Destiny not to suck.
Did you like the last one? Did we talk about this?
I am. I didn't. It's definitely the worst one of them, but I didn't dislike it as much as most. It seemed.
Yeah,
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I think it's been a while since I've seen it. I should probably take a look.
That was the Crystal Skulls, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked it, and then I heard people not liking it, and I thought, wait a minute, should I not like this?
Yeah, they bash it way harder than I think it deserves. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. So some of this is going to be based on this, the Dial of Destiny, but they're pulling from the other movies as well. And this is the sort. I like this line. This is sort of like the Star Wars Mission Fleet line.
Yeah,
not even sort of. It's exactly like the Mission Fleet line, and they're calling this Worlds of Adventure, Indiana Jones Worlds of Adventure. They show Indy and his bike here, and then they show this Dr. Jurgen Voller on his little bomber or whatever that is. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Better be careful. I keep my head down a little bit on that one. I don't know. But then moving on to the more traditional acts, they didn't have a lot. I thought they would show more of that Worlds of Adventure. Here's the problem, I think, with Indiana Jones in general, and why I think when they do toy lines, they just don't sell. It's because there's a lot of human-looking characters, and kids are like, I don't want this guy. Yeah. I mean, what kid is gonna want this dude in a suit and hat?
Yeah.
The plane might be cool. But
if they could go inside the cockpit, it'd be better than on top with the gun, or what? Maybe that's probably true to however the movie is. I'd assume, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, how could that be though? They couldn't have this in the movie where he's got a cockpit and a gun on the top. Yeah, that can't be right.
I think if I remember right, they said it fits 2 figures. Like one's the driver, one's the gunner. I don't know. But moving on to more traditional action figures, they previously they had shown the 3 3/4 inch line, and they just showed Indiana Jones when they previewed it. And they call this Adventures of Indiana Jones. This is the retro 3 3/4 line. And unfortunately, there's a lot of the Star Wars dealio going on here where you're thinking, what, didn't they show this figure before? Yeah, well, they did, but it was the 6-inch version. So you got that whole deal going on where the same figures are appearing in 6-inch and 3 3/4. So we got Marion, we've got Tote, we've got the German mechanic.
That's hilarious. He was a great part of the movie, though. That's an interesting B-level character, whatever you call it.
Yes, they commented on that because he never got a figure in the original line that came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
So they wanted to make sure. And then Belloc looks like
do they have a Splatterface edition of the mechanic? No, I'm just kidding. Somebody's going to make a custom of that, Anyway.
And then they quickly just teased some future figures from the retro wave, like the Belloc here.
That's horrible. Anyway, sorry.
The Belloc.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's so. That looks like what's her name, the cook. Like she's in the kitchen. The old is that the old British lady that is that who that was?
Julia Child, yeah.
That's who it looks like. Anyway, go on.
It's funny you say that, Kevin, because they talked about how much investigation and researching that went into finding the exact pattern to match, for his tunic there. It's like it comes across as sort of like apronish or
an apron or a dress or something.
Yeah. They talked about how that all the research that went into detailing that.
Big fail.
They teased more in the retro line. They didn't have pictures. Just they're going to do some Temple of Doom figures, indie, just basic indie, short round, hypnotized Indiana Jones.
Okay.
And it's 2 from Dial of Destiny, old indie, and Helena Shaw.
Okay.
Yeah, not really much to go on there because we're just seeing pictures of the
characters. We'll see, right? Yeah.
Okay, and the last 3 are all exclusives, and they're in the excuse me, the 6-inch Adventure Series line, and that is from Target. We have Club Obi-Wan Indiana Jones.
Okay.
You see what I mean here? Kids, I don't know,
Yeah.
And then we have Walter Donovan from The Last Crusade.
Well, they're just looking to sell to all the nostalgia guys like us.
Yeah,
they're not even for kids. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I thought I did, but I don't have it here. They have 2 head sculpts. They have an alternate head sculpt of when he takes the drink from the Grail. And it's really well done too. I wish I had it here. Fail on my part. And then we have Professor Indiana Jones.
Huh, okay. That face doesn't look right.
Yeah, a lot of comments about that out there on the web.
Yeah.
The Club Obi-Wan is Target, Walter Donovan and Professor Indy are Walmart exclusives. And that's it. There's a lot of pictures, but that was there wasn't really, it's just the Indiana Jones and the McFarlane stuff this week. So,
well, that's a lot of Indiana Jones.
It is.
And I'm a Raiders fan.
I can hardly tell a difference.
Right. I am a Raiders and an Indiana Jones fan, but I don't know if it's
Not that big of an Indiana Jones fan.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's enough to carry a line. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
I think it's always a tough sell.
Yeah. But I always say that's kind of where I've been ever since the beginning. You know, when I first saw the trailers for Raiders and stuff, I didn't see it in the theaters, and I was all like, yeah, I don't know. And then I was pleasantly surprised about how awesome they were once I actually saw it, and I was a little upset I didn't see them in theaters. But yeah, Raiders is maybe it's you just can't make a big universe or try to sell a bunch of stuff for Raiders because it's kind of small as far as the possibilities are concerned. I don't know what it is about it exactly, but it's impossible to try to broaden it like a Star Wars, or it's kind of the same thing with Back to the Future. It's like just this very own one niche thing, you know. So, and obviously World War II and Nazis has been done to death, you know, so it really has to be good to carry you past that point, you know, to not be sick of Nazis again, you know. So not that I know what happens in the Dial of Destiny, of course. Maybe it's, you know, who knows? I don't know. Different, but anyway, still great job. Love to see your stuff, Pat. Thank you so much for putting that all together, and you know, even though we double booked you there in a row, pulling through, appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. Now you get like a 5-second break though, because you're third in the recap. The recap. Who did that? Okay, I'm telling you, the first time was my mistake. I don't know what happened the second time. But. All right, Mike, what you got?
I need to watch the new Quantum Leap.
You do.
Yep.
Everybody needs to watch Pale Blue Eye.
We will.
Until we meet again, profits.
Right.
R.I.P. Profits for now.
For now. Kevin needs to watch the original Quantum Leap.
I do.
All of them.
Hopefully I get around to that before Mando season 3 comes out, though.
Probably not. That's like around the corner.
It is. It's yeah. What's that? 5-6 weeks away, but yeah, it'll be here before we know it. I've noticed that every time we talk about something, it's here when we talk about it being far away all of a sudden, and bam, start watching it. Yeah. Along with 3 other things that need to be watched at the same time. But anyway, don't ever assume whether a dark sphere is good or bad. Bad.
Sometimes mediocre reviews are the most you can hope for.
True.
Yep. I'm sure we're all familiar with Steven Crowder and his change my mind.
Yes.
Little thing there. Art Germ rules. Change my mind.
Oh yeah, that's congrats to Catwoman and Rose. Where's my hand clap there?
It's this
Karen?
guy's turn right here.
Pat's turn.
Yeah.
I get no hand clap. Oh, awesome. That is really good to hear, Johnny.
Kevin, that clapping was for Johnny.
Yeah. All right, Pat, what you got?
What do I got? Congrats to Mike for winning Cover Combat 2.
Yep, I agree.
That's New York, Mike.
Yeah. He
That's
also,
New York, Mike. Yeah.
yeah, and I did you guys see the text message from him?
What? I didn't see it.
That's what I was reading.
Yeah, he and we'll throw it out there. It's something we can think about. He says, a tiebreaker could be the most overall votes from all rounds. The only problem I have with that is matchups. You could keep getting an easy matchup and getting a lot of votes.
I mean,
I think that'd be harder to track for Mike too, and we don't need to be making it any more difficult for Mike as it is, right?
I'm going to say yes. I agree to that.
Yeah.
The way I do it, I think Patrick's right. The matchups wouldn't. A book could have a really easy matchup and get, and win by 80%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll stick with what we said already, basically. All right. Apparently, Gotham. Oh wait, is it my turn?
Mike's turn.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back real quickly to what we're talking about. It would still be kind of interesting to track how many votes a book did get all the way through. So I appreciate Mike throwing that idea out there because I'm going to use part of it.
Yeah, and I was just trying to definitely point out that you've got a lot going on already. So adding more, I don't know if that's a good thing, but as far as I'm concerned, for sure, if you track every single stat, women got this many votes, men got this many votes, if you track every single stat that you could possibly think of, I'd love it. I'm just a stat freak.
Right. Speaking of stats, I need you to dig out our stat books from when we played the 2K games for football and hockey, because I was telling Marcus about them and he wants to see them.
I don't even have to dig them out. They are literally
right
on my
shelf.
stand right by my TV. Yeah. So, yeah, I still love those. I enjoy looking through those occasionally myself.
Yeah. Right. That's all I got.
I was just going to say, apparently Arkham Asylum and Gotham City are interchangeable.
I don't have anything else.
All right.
Johnny?
And is that what'd you say, Mike?
I said Johnny because he chimed in. I thought maybe he would have something.
Hey, Johnny, you got one? Or where's my wonderful wife with her recap? Come on, where's it at? Where's it at? Let's give her a second. Oh, wait, no, she's sitting right in front of me. I know she's not doing it. All right, so that'll do it. A few reminders here. Thank you. Please like and comment on this video, as well as subscribe and hit that bell. Hit that bell.
Southern all the way.
To get notifications when we go live. And please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Anchor by Spotify, as we originally and always will be a podcast, or many other podcast providers. And please listen to the edited podcast of this live stream that I'll post on Spotify today or no later than tomorrow. And then follow XcellarComics on Facebook, Instagram, and or Twitter, and follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok and whatnot. And please watch our show on the Whatnot app on Friday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can bookmark that show right now. We've got lots of great deals. I literally put up, and Mike's going to probably slap me when I say this the next time I see him. I literally put up a $20 book for $2. And it was near the end of the show, so I only had a couple viewers still. And no one snagged that. So I've got a lot of great deals on that show. Not only deals to buy specifically, then an awesome high-value mystery short box, and then great prizes and giveaways as well. Then also check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics and XcellarComics.com. And then, of course, watch our next live stream which will include. I have the finals of Cover Combat 2. That's last week's, which will include a segment of Mike's In Case You Didn't Know. Next Sunday, 1:30 p.m. ish Eastern Standard Time. That's it.
It's my favorite.
That is a great clap.
I love it.
And since we are 2 episodes into Karen moderating now she gets the criticisms. Karen, get your special effects game up, you know. So
it could be the clapping there. Oh, the whole episode. And I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds like we need a whipping sound effect for Kevin.
Got some buzzer action in there. Okay. Yeah. We need to add the whip. Oh, hi, Lexi. Oh, and a later happy birthday to Lexi. Her birthday was belated happy birthday a couple days ago. She's officially not a teenager anymore. I've only got one left. But what I was going to say is we need to add the wah, wah, wah. We need to figure out what that's called. And then a whip now that Patrick put that in. So, all right, you guys got anything else?
Nope, that's it. You go watch some football.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much for checking us out. It's been a fun show. It's been a long one. A lot of good stuff. And until next time, don't forget that appreciating great art is awesome and reading a great story is a lot of fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.